Today's story is the $1 tip that changed everything. What if I told you that a single dollar could change your entire life? Not $1,000, not a lottery win, just $1. Sounds crazy, right? But today I'm going to tell you a true, powerful story about a simple $1 tip. Powerful story about a chain reaction no one expected. A story about kindness, struggle, and how the smallest action can lead to the biggest transformation. And by the end of this video, you might never look at money or people the same way again. Welcome back to the channel. If you love emotional, real-life stories that hit deep and leave you thinking, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Now let's get into the story.
It was a cold evening in a small city. David sat behind the counter of a tiny roadside cafe, the kind of place people only stopped at if they had no better option. The walls were old, the chairs didn't match. And the coffee? Well, it was cheap for a reason. David wasn't just an employee, he was the owner. Or at least that's what the sign said. But in reality, he was barely surviving. Bills were piling up, rent was overdue, and some nights he had to decide between buying groceries or keeping the lights on. Still, every morning he showed up, opened the cafe, smiled at customers, because that's what you do when you have no other choice. One evening, just before closing time, a woman walked in. She looked tired. Her clothes were simple. Her face showed the kind of exhaustion that sleep alone couldn't fix. She sat down quietly. David walked over and said, "What can I get you?" She smiled faintly. "Just a coffee, the cheapest one." David nodded. He didn't ask questions. He didn't judge, because he knew that look. He had worn it himself. He brought her the coffee. She held the cup with both hands, like it was more than just a drink, like it was comfort. After she finished, she walked up to the counter. "How much?" she asked. $2, David replied. She searched her purse, coins, a few crumpled notes. She counted slowly, then paused. "I only have $3. Is that okay?" David smiled. "That's more than enough." She placed the money on the counter, and then she said something unexpected. "Keep the change." It was just $1, one single dollar. But the way she said it, it wasn't casual. It meant something. David looked at her. "You sure?" She nodded. "Sometimes giving is all we have." And then she left. That night, David couldn't stop thinking about her words. Sometimes giving is all we have. He looked at the $1. To most people, it was nothing. But to her, it was everything she could afford to give. And yet, she gave it anyway. That changed something inside him. The next day, David did something unusual. He wrote a small sign and placed it near the register. "If you can't afford a meal, take one anyway." At first, nothing happened. People walked in, glanced at the sign, and ignored it. But then, one day, a young boy came in. He looked nervous. "Is this real?" he asked. David nodded. The boy smiled. And for the first time in days, he ate a full meal. Word started spreading, not through ads, not through social media, but through people. Someone told a friend told a coworker. Soon, the cafe wasn't just a cafe anymore. It became a place of kindness. Some people came in and paid extra. Some left tips bigger than the meals. Some just came to sit and feel human again. David didn't get rich, but something better happened. He stopped feeling alone, and slowly, the cafe began to thrive. Months later, that same woman walked in again. This time, she looked different, healthier, happier, confident. David recognized her immediately. You came back, he said. She smiled. I heard about this place, and I had to see it. She looked around, at the people eating, laughing, helping each other. You built this? She asked. David shook his head. No, you did. All it took was $1. Not because of its value, but because of the intention behind it. That small act of kindness created a ripple, and that ripple changed lives. So next time you think something you do is too small to matter, remember this. Sometimes the smallest things create the biggest change. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because you never know who might need to hear this today. And maybe your small action could be someone else's turning point. In end,